Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple: products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Another episode of the TMossBoss show. And I honestly, I was going into this episode, like sitting down trying to think of something. Couldn't think of anything to talk about. So I'm sitting here, just all like, man, like, there's one subject I wanted to talk about, but I'm like, nah, wrong people might see it. Then next thing you know, it's just problems and problems. But no, I was like, I'll do what the original plan was, but in a different way. So anyways, I'm going to be talking about angry people. I don't think I've done an episode where I've talked about like just all the time, 24/7 angry people. I feel like I might have mentioned angry people, but no, I don't think I've just ever like sat down and talked about like angry people. Because I have to say, like, throughout the week, throughout my life, there's been like at least one person where you will always see them like in an angry state. Like, always will see them in an angry state. And I'm like, man, what is the problem? That's why I'm like, I don't like being around people like that. I'm sorry, but I can't be around people like that. I know there might be reasons for them to be angry, but if I've done absolutely nothing to you and you're just showing this like anger and just towards me, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, I can't be cool with you. I cannot be cool with you and stuff. Like, to me, it's really annoying where it's like you try talking to these people and they're like giving you the illusion or the assumption like you did something to them. And I'm like, that's why it's just like, can't talk to people like that. I try to stay far, far away from people like that. I mean, sometimes there's people that's they're accepting to the rules, but for the most part, I try to keep that type of energy away from me. Like, I remember there was this one girl. The thing was that like she was cool. I don't know. Maybe she kind of had like an antisocial thing going on, but no, I think I've mentioned her before. She was a wrestling fan, and that just blew me away. I think that's what it was. I had like made a post on Facebook or somewhere about like wrestling, and she commented on it. She was just all like, and I think I had messaged her because I'm like, whoa, wait a second, you're like, and I think she had to know like, okay, like this guy probably always sees me like angry and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden like I'd comment on something that he's like, yeah, I'm like, I was kind of tripping about that. So I'm like, that's, wow, all right, wasn't expecting that from you and things. But nah, she was cool and stuff. I hadn't talked to that girl in years. I don't even know if we even friends or following. No, we're not friends or following each other on social media. But one of these days I should like hit her up, see how she's doing, see how life's treating her and things. But no, like there was the one day I remember like I thought she was gonna seriously do something to this guy. But so I remember I think I told this story before. I feel like I've told this story before, but I was sitting at a table with some friends, and all of them was like girls that was at the table and stuff. So I'm the only guy there. Guy walks up, and I was like, I knew of him, but I ain't really like know him and stuff. I just knew of him, seen him around, had a couple of classes with him, I think. But he came up to the table, and he was just all like, Tyler, is this you? Like, overall saying like, are you dating all of these girls and stuff? And I'm like shaking my head like, no, like, bro, stop. Like, that's really, really, it's not even like, it's not more so like embarrassing, but just like, don't do that. Don't be disrespectful like that, bro. But I'm shaking my head like, no, like it's too early to be trying to like argue with people, trying to explain. I'm like, nah, bro, not me. So Anyway, she snapped, went off on dude, and he just stood there and took it. I'm like, you brought that on yourself. You decide to walk over here and make that comment. Like, nobody ain't told you to do that and stuff. So, anyways, yeah. I think that was like the last time I seen them have any interactions. There had to been like some prior beef before that. Because I was like, that had to been like some like pent up anger and aggression. She was just waiting to let off on him and stuff. So that's why I'm like, yeah, there's something going on behind doors. But no, I'm like that. Then I remember there's another teacher I had. She was weird though. Like, she was the detention lady, and I'm thinking in my head, like, I don't know, like, I guess maybe that's what she's supposed to do, like, always be angry, I guess, to, like, scare kids and keep them from going into detention and stuff, because honestly, yeah, you don't want kids to just be getting detention just to, like, chill with the teacher and things, but I'm saying, like, there's no reason for her to be, like, especially when it's, like, outside of the detention room, like, there's no reason for you to, be all angry and things. I don't know. Maybe there is some like hidden agenda or something like that. But no, as the detention lady, she was probably the angriest soul that ever went and like stepped foot in that school and stuff. It got so bad that like people didn't really like her attitude and stuff, and didn't really like her as a person. After I had graduated, somebody had spray painted on the wall F Miss Bennett. And I'm like, wow, that is, and that was her name and things, but I was like, I don't even understand, like, I'm like, when you're just, like, downright rude to everybody, like, no, there's, like, times where I'm like, okay, I think you could just relax, like, your job ain't that serious, they're not even paying you that much money to be acting like that, so, you can relax, okay, you can relax. But anyways, I remember there was this one week, in fact, I think it was the same week, the Seahawks was throwing their parade for that Super Bowl we won a few years ago. Well, a few years ago, like, this was all the way when I was in high school. So it's like, dang, it's like, I was like saying that the other day, like how long it's been since I graduated. But, it was like 2013. Yeah, 2013. And, I remember it was like, there's this week, it was cold. It was like 20 degrees. I remember, because every morning I would go up to the corner store and get a Red Bull. And yeah, I was like, man, like walking up there, I was like, oh my goodness, it is cold. Like, can y'all heat up the Red Bull for me when I get there? That week was cold. Like, that week haunts me, because I'm like, I hope we never experience a week like that again. Like, I thought we were some mornings, but I was like, no, I'm prepared this time. Like, no, I'm prepared. I got all the jackets, coats, hoodies, and all the stuff that I need. Like, I'm prepared, but anyways, that was the thing that I did, because I, like, if you see my YouTube videos, then you know that I have, like, some decent amount of hair, but on the top of my head, the side of my head is so unprotected. I don't even know why I decided to do this haircut. I should just grow out an afro or something, but anyways, so I remember I was like, yeah, back in high school, I always had, like, a buzz cut. I didn't really have, like, no hair or anything. I don't know why I, like, didn't decide to just grow it out for the winter and then just cut it for the summer and stuff. That should have been the plan, but no, I was getting haircuts all the time and things. So, anyways, yeah, so I think it was definitely that week. I remember my hair was short. It wasn't long. And I remember I was wearing a hat. There's this one teacher there where I was like, he was the opposite of this episode. I should do an episode and talk strictly about him and things, because I think I could talk about him for a few minutes. But he was a cool teacher. He was a really cool teacher. And he like warned me, and he was just all like, hey, like, just letting you know, like, no hats are allowed on campus, but I understand, like, it's cold and things. So he's explaining it to me. I'm like, cool, no sweat about it. Like, I'll take my hat off. You approach me in a respectful way, then I'm going to do the respectful thing, and I'm going to take my hat off. Miss Bennett, she had other plans. So it's like, yeah, a bunch of kids are there. It's obviously freezing cold because it was an outdoor school. So constantly the door would be opening, and that cold breezes is going in there. Kids is cold. They're freezing. So kids had their hats on. She is walking. I kid you not. She is walking down the hallways, snatching hats off of kids' heads. I'm like, are you serious? And I was like, luckily that teacher had told me, because she had did that to me. I found a friend with some long nails and told them, like, look, I'll pay you, but can you just scratch like my forehead? Like get behind me and just scratch. And I'm like, no, I seriously had blamed her. That had been my plan. I'm like, I'm blaming her. I'm like, no, she scratched my forehead when she was taking my hat off. So y'all need to do something, all right? Because no, I'm like, that's not cool. Regardless of whether she did it or not, you can't just walk up on people like that and get in their personal space, snatching their hats off of their head and stuff. You could kindly go up to them and tell them, take the hats off. See, that's why I'm like, that's why people did what they did. Spray painting F Miss Bennett on the wall because you out here doing stuff like that. Just be a respectful teacher. That's all I'm asking. But you being this angry person everywhere you go, that ain't cool. That's not cool at all. And that's why kids are just going to be massively disrespectful towards you on campus or off campus. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, people, I don't think they realize, like, when you're just being mad disrespectful, you just being angry all the time, other people are not going to like that. And then that's going to give them ideas, and then you're going to be dealing with some people. So that's why I'm like, man, like, people, just stop being angry all the time. Like, whatever, like, I don't know what you're dealing with, but whatever it is, you are going to be okay. You are going to be okay. Like, I remember I had, like, there's this TV show. It's funny, I had, like, all the shows I could reference is this TV show, but there's this TV show called South Beach Tow. Excuse me. But anyways, it was, like, one of those, like tow truck TV shows. It was a pretty popular show too. That show, I was like, it was probably one. It was like until like when you start realizing like, okay, this stuff is kind of like fake and things, but it was still entertaining to watch and things. I guess like what it was like stories. Maybe if they would have like did it like that, where explain like, hey, these are stories just reenacted and stuff, and letting y'all know like this, what you're watching, it's not the real thing. But they made it seem like the real thing. But anyways. There's an episode where this girl on there, she got her car towed. She's just being angry and rude to everybody and stuff. And one girl was like, you know, she approached her because it was like, it's annoying. That's one thing I don't think people realize. It's like when you're just being angry all the time, like that stuff is annoying. Like that's just full on annoying. And I would rather for you to stay indoors, recuperate, get your mind set up, like eventually just like work things out with yourself or with whatever your problem is, like work it out. But, like, don't go out in public and just start being rude and angry to people for no reason and stuff. But anyways, no, in the show, like, she approached her and was just like, what's your problem? You're like, you out here being angry and just, like, rude to everybody. Like, that's not cool. And then the girl, she just had an emotional breakdown. She just broke down and started crying. I'm like, if that's what you're afraid of, don't be afraid of that. I would rather for a person to have an emotional breakdown crying in front of me, so then I can comfort them and then like let them know like things is going to be okay, rather for them to just show up every single day and just being angry all the time. Like I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. I'm like, no, it's like you died. It's stuff like that. It's just like, it's really, really annoying. To me at least. That's like one pet peeve. It's like a person just like being rude for no reason. Like, just downright being angry. I'm like, I don't know if they get kicks out of that, but I'm like, nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. So, because, I don't know, I feel like in the places that I deal with it the most, I feel like it would not be professional for me to say something or to do anything about it. So I just keep my mouth shut. It's one of the most hurtful things ever. I'm like, man, this is just straight up torture, because it's like I really want to just tell this person, like, hey, like, if you're angry, it's probably best to not interact with crowds or interact with people and stuff. Like, go listen to some freaking music or watch a Kevin Hart special or something and cheer up a little bit. Like, that's what I want to say, but I'm like, I know it's just not going to be professional and things. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I think it's best just be happy that the happy ones are around you too. Like that's one thing to look forward to. The happy ones are around you. If you're like dealing with just angry people all the time, like everybody that you're around, like if it's a workplace and you're around just nothing but angry people, quit that job. Quit that job right now. Like, quit it. Go find yourself another job. You do not need to be around an environment like that. Nobody needs to be around an environment like that. That's why it's like, it's just, to me, it's just really, it would just, I couldn't be around an environment like that. I definitely would try to like look for another job. That's why I'm like, the job that I have now, everybody that I work with, we're always like laughing, cracking jokes, talking with each other. And I'm like, to me, that's a really dope workplace. That's a really dope workplace. But I think if everybody would have been angry, upset, mad for no reason, I'm like, nah, I can't. I'm sorry, but I can't be around people like this. I'm like, nope, like I would have put in my 2 weeks, my first 2 weeks. So I'm like, I can't be around people like that. I'm sorry, but that's just not me. I'm not an angry person. So I'm like, I don't need to be around other angry people. I feel like in a way, like that stuff will manifest on you. The next thing you know, I'm just being downright. That's the thing though. I'm like, I laugh way too much in life. I didn't laugh like a good, like 80% of my life. So that's why I'm like, I cannot go and just start being angry. I don't know. I don't have it in me to just be angry. And I thought about that too. I'm like, man, you know what? I should just be like some old villainous type person. Like just angry. Just like look upset. And I am actually upset and stuff. That's the thing. People be thinking that I am upset, but I'm like, I'm never upset. I might look, cause no, I've had friends of mine say that. It was funny. It was or there's like a friend I used to work with. She said that there was a day where she was she seen me walking. She was in her like Uber driver or like Uber car, and was a Uber car. She was getting a ride from an Uber driver, and said she seen me and was like, "Oh, you look so angry and upset." And I'm like, but I wasn't. Like, I think that's what it's like. She asked me if I was okay or something. That's the second time somebody that did that. I remember even when I was in school. And it was like I was walking down the hallway, and I'm like, I don't know how I be looking at things. Like, I don't realize I look angry and stuff. Like, that's why I'm like, man, like, to whoever notices that, like, please take a picture and show me how I look. Because I, honestly, when I'm walking, maybe it's because I don't want to be messed with. Because there's a lot of, like, crazy people downtown and stuff. And when they see people just, like, all happy looking around, then that's when, like, the crazy ones want to get out in front of them, start doing some old weird stuff and things. That's why I'm like, I feel like if anything's, like, where I'm at, I just want to look that way so people just won't mess with me. See, now that's one thing. If you're looking angry, but you're really happy, but you're only looking that way because you don't want people to mess with you, cool. But if it, like, let's say it's the opposite, you look happy but you're just angry for no reason, like, that's why I'm like, okay, then you are dealing with some stuff and you need to go see a doctor. But anyways, but no, it's like, yeah, I don't know, I feel like that's okay. That's accepting to the rules. Like, I would rather for a person to look angry but be happy than a person to look happy but be angry. Like, I feel like, yeah, you are a psycho if that's what you're doing and stuff. Like, nah, something's wrong with you. But anyways, now I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode. I was gonna give y'all 15 minutes of my time. I feel like that's just a standard time unless I'm like doing a freaking Ask Reddit episode or maybe a random talk. But now if I'm like talking about a certain subject and it's like 15 minutes, y'all good. I gave you guys a thumbs up and y'all can't even see it. So imagine that I had gave y'all a thumbs up. But anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you are new to the podcast, make sure you like and subscribe if you're viewing it on YouTube, or follow or subscribe if you're viewing it on a podcast streaming service. I will talk to you guys. Oh yeah, and if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss, and it will knock $20 off your first purchase. So, that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching and or listening, and peace.